Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? So welcome. I am Katrina and I am representing dermoi. And here we have Katja from Osmosis EU.
Hello, everybody. So it's Koch. It's a funny name. It's Irish for Kate. You nearly got it, Katrina. Good effort. So yeah, I'm on the west coast of Ireland at the moment, where we distribute the product from. So yeah, dermoi are stockists of Osmosis. And so dermoi, I think, have been, how long are you in business now? You're running probably the last number of years, probably about 3 years.
Yeah, just over 2.
Perfect. And so Osmosis is a relatively new skin solution in this market, but it's been around for about 10 years. And it's developed by a doctor called Dr. Ben Johnson. And he's a pioneer in the skin industry because he takes a holistic approach to treating the skin. And I guess that's personally resonates with me, as I have been a skin specialist for over, I don't even want to say, 15 years or so, and worked with lots of different skincare brands, and I could see, that I was explaining what the benefits of different products did to the skin, but never really seeing the fruition in the skin. So when I came across Osmosis accidentally, I knew I had to get involved with what it was about. So that's my story with me and Osmosis. But Dr. Ben Johnson is an incredible formulator, a doctor, and a visionary. So he's got lots of his way of understanding the skin from a holistic, as I said, perspective resonates with me, because we look at the whole person from the source of where the skin conditions come from, and that's what really sets us apart. So we work with frequencies, incredibly cutting edge technology, and then also finishing it with different ingredients in makeup to finish the kind of like inside out approach to the skin. So it's yeah, we work with supplements, skincare, and advanced skincare. So we use step-up levels of vitamin A, in particularly a patented formula called liposomal retinaldehyde, which a lot of people mightn't have heard of that terminology before, but it's the strongest form of vitamin A that's on the market, and because it's patented, it's very rarely seen, and also because in its strongest form is quite irritating to the skin, but we've made it encapsulated so it doesn't irritate. So we're a non-toxic holistic approach to treating the skin, but we use such low doses that you can even use it when you're pregnant. And then there's parts of our product range that are vegan friendly and oncology friendly, which has so much to those words alone. Yeah, I just believe so wholeheartedly that if you can't use something when you're pregnant, why you would use it at all is really baffling. But yeah, I guess that's what Osmosis is to the core about. But how have you've used the product range before, Katrina, haven't you?
Yes, I actually use.
Oh,
no. So in relation,
there for just 1 minute for a half a second.
Oh, if there is any internet problems, feel free we can send a message if it cuts out for anybody at any point.
Yeah.
So a little then about what we're going to discuss today. So essentially, as we know then, dermoi does stock Osmosis.
Mm-hmm.
Skincare and advanced home care products with really great advice, treatments, analysis. At the moment we do that through virtual consultations. So they're complimentary consultations where we talk through your skin and really understand the deeper levels of your skin and the products either that you're currently using and how to use them better, or the products that you need to incorporate into your skincare routine. And probably the aim of that is for most people to have really beautiful glowing skin. And what we have found is that Osmosis is definitely a brand that really does help your skincare journey, and you will see real difference with the products that you put on your skin, and specifically with the Osmosis brand. So as I said, Keith given us a bit of the history there, behind Osmosis and how it started. So we have put some kind of questions together to pretty much explain a little bit more about the science behind the brand, and about making sure that you have or can achieve glowing, beautiful skin from home. So I suppose then one of the big questions that comes through quite often is, what makes Osmosis Skincare specifically different from any other skincare brand?
So what makes it so different is the fact that we're using, I guess, a holistic approach. So through what you do in dermoi is obviously going through a list of questions and figuring out and really tuning into your client and listening to what they need. So, different types of concerns come from lots of different environmental factors, and then obviously, I believe a lot in epigenetics and so does Dr. Ben Johnson, about how your environment changes the activity in your cells. So when we do consultations, what we're trying to do is really like hone in on your lifestyle, and how we can better your lifestyle, and then in turn, it fixes the outside. So the inside is a reflection of the outside. So we do holistic face mapping, which is why virtual skin consultations have been a lot easier for people who do this technology, who use this technology, because we get to really like figure out where the breakouts are, or where the rosacea is, and particularly any type of aggressive skin condition. It really is just a mirror of what's happening internally. So like getting to help somebody get to the source of where the issue is internally, and then seeing it externally, is very rewarding for any type of skin specialist in this type of field, and working with this brand in particular. So it's like it's an exchange of energy that you get to be proud of the work that you're doing, and then also like help them fix their issues themselves. So, particularly with rosacea, I'll give it an example. Rosacea, when it's presented like on your cheek area, is a reflection of your digestive system, and even on your forehead. So what on your nose would be more like your esophagus. So you've heard of like the whiskey nose, or anybody who's drank a lot, it's usually hitting the back of the throat, so like hard liquor, or like, as you said, like anybody like after the age of 30, we suggest everybody to take digestive enzymes and things like that, because your digestive enzymes slow down, and that's usually like when rosacea occurs, but usually it's just like direct digestive issues. So that's what we would target, but that's just one example. I mean, eczema, psoriasis, there's a long list of issues like hormonal acne, sugar-induced acne. So we work with candidas, and it's very detailed. As much as it's holistic, don't be put off by the word holistic. It's actually very active, and we get the results, and in such a short amount of time. So I think it's just like the combination of this science that Dr. Ben Johnson has put together from a natural source, and then also using the advanced technologies of our liposomal retinaldehyde into the skin. So liposomal just means that it's encapsulated, a technology that passes the lipid barrier and gets right into the cells. So like the amount of vitamin A that you would use in your step-up levels of vitamin A, the highest dose that we can use is a 0.15% retinaldehyde, which would be the equivalent to a 1.5 retinol, which you cannot find on the market. So there's like, and the fact that you can use it, at any stage of your life is amazing. And that's just only one technology. There's lots of, there's like DNA repair. I'm kind of focusing on the vitamin A because vitamin A should be used by everybody. There's no limit to like, I guess, there's no limit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Robbie, yes,
question.
Yeah, kind of looking at it, as you've touched upon, your lifestyle is one of the biggest factors that affects your skin. And a lot of people, living in the likes of London City, and being around the pollution every day and in the offices, people tend to make decisions for their skincare that they think are probably helping them. And one of that is, from what I've heard recently, is exfoliating maybe once or a day, for some people. So I know obviously part of the Osmosis brand is changing that direction away from excessive exfoliation. So do you want to kind of explain what's wrong with exfoliation, or how often you should be exfoliating, the right way?
Yeah, I guess that's a really good question. Exfoliation is, I guess, a term that, we're increasing the cell renewal so that to reveal brighter, younger, fresher skin, right?
Yeah.
And there's lots of ways of exfoliating. So there's AHAs, BHAs, and then there's enzymatic activity, and then there's a physical exfoliant, which are grains. So they just like, we've all used them. I think
Yeah.
the scrubs and the apricot scrubs, and there's obviously a time and place for everything, and your body is more intelligent than we give it credit for. We don't always need to just like attack it. Now, in fairness, when you are in such harsh environments like London, you're going to be, definitely, but skin is going to defend itself because it's environmental as well, so it'll start to change the skin's environment will change to suit its environment. And so I guess people believe that they should be exfoliating more frequently, but no, I would suggest light and repetitive. If it is from an exfoliation point of view, I love enzymes, and enzymes are they can come in like natural fruit enzymes, so like papaya and pineapple. Those kind of enzymes are really light. They kind of just remove any, like a Pac-Man, just melt away the surface dead skin cells. But that means that you're not exposing baby skin cells that are not prepared to be, especially in a toxic environment like a city. So baby skin cells are bright, fresh, they're not prepared for the world. It's like sending your kids out to the big bad city, and it's just you really need to look more so at antioxidant protection than exfoliation. And even with Osmosis, we have an exfoliator called Polish, and it's an enzyme mask, we call it. It's not we wouldn't per se call it an exfoliator, but it is. It uses 6% lactic acid with cranberry enzymes. So that would be recommended to use twice a week. And it's got loads of antioxidant power in it. And that's what's more important, is preparing the cells underneath even to protect itself from the environment, and then just brightening up your skin. It's more so about the pH as well of the product, so that it goes a little bit deeper into the skin rather than the stronger the exfoliator. The stronger the exfoliator, the more damage you're causing. And that is 100% factual, because you're demanding your skin to produce too many skin cells, and it's not prepared for that weight, and then it becomes reliant on it as well. So there's a whole other story there that the more you demand your skin to over exfoliate, then the underneath the cells that are continuously trying to boost themselves, that's like overworking yourself in the gym. It just doesn't work out the way it wants. It will short term, and then you have to go and you'll just wear yourself out. So it's that's what the holistic philosophy is, as above, so below, inside out. It's it's all a bit of a weight balancing game, and Dr. Ben Johnson has really kind of tuned that into the whole range. So don't over exfoliate.
What probably then is the biggest take back for a lot of people from that is, it really does depend both on kind of your environmental and physical factors, your skincare routine. So the likes of someone, as you said, maybe who is like yourself, living by the sea, not really in a city environment or on the London Tube every day, would need separate skincare from someone who is around those kind of pollutants, and in that kind of city lifestyle.
100%, yeah. Antioxidant protection is just a must for you guys, and SPF. But even aside from that, Osmosis has a really interesting product, right? It's called Infuse or Boost. So they're both frequency waters. So they're energetically charged water that is antibacterial, antifungal, and they've been tested for these clinical trials on a lot of the products, most of the products that we do, because we're very we want to be at the forefront. And with this infused water, it is the ingredients say, you know, frequency water, but it's pretty much no bacteria or fungus or any type of you know, issue or disease or any type of like bacteria can land on the skin. So when you spray this on your skin, you're keeping your skin you know, very clean, and especially coming in and out of different environments, I would suggest keeping that in your bag and like spritzing your skin and getting your skin back up to balance. But also the fact that this water has like peptide activity. It's not just, it's hyaluronic acid, it's plankton and things like that. So what it does is it actually boosts your skin cells anyway. So it makes it
definitely.
Yeah, since it's glowing skin, you want to like, you know, keep like spritz it when like in the morning, and then, you know, going into work, it just keeps it looking fresh.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think as well at the moment for a lot of people who are wearing masks in and around the city, it's a really great product to, so kind of when you're taking off your mask, to refresh your skin and refresh your face as well.
100%, because there's nothing that's active. You know, sometimes when these sprays, they're too astringent and they're trying to like, you know, draw out something, but this is just healthy water for your skin to breathe and function as best as possible, and you can use it as many times as you want, which is the key to it. But yeah, a lot of people are finding, I guess, a little bit of like their skin is becoming a little bit suffocated underneath those masks, which obviously, you know, is obvious, which can happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, surgeons wear masks all day long. You know, there's really no harm to it. It's just like, try not to wear the big masks that are too thick. And obviously you are like, it can actually be toxic then if the mask.
You need to allow your skin to breathe underneath the mask, and when you have the opportunities, you know, to make sure that your skin is, you know, specifically cleansed at the end of the day to remove any of those impurities and toxins underneath. It's really about your morning and evening skincare. If it's done right, you should
100%.
Yeah. Perfect. So I suppose in terms of products and looking for glowing skin, what would be, say, the top 3 products you'd recommend to be in?
I mean, you have to get cleansed. And with that, what happens is that that serum is almost all of Osmosis is 99% natural. So you can see the ingredient deck, like the only kind of like filler would be the very last ingredient. But this serum in particular has hyaluronic acid in it. It has a little bit of lactic acid in it. It has ingredients that stimulate synthesis, like lots of peptide activity to keep your skin plump and healthy. So it's a plethora, it's a multifunctional serum. So it's not just like, you know, the one ingredient. It's doing a lot of different lots of different activity under the skin. So that would be my best product, I think. Like Renew is like my godsend, because I'm low maintenance. Like I love obviously everything in the product range, and I get to use all of them, but like, you know, I don't want to carry 40 products around the place. And if I go for a wave for a weekend, it's a cleanser. It's my never leave anywhere without my Boost spray and my Renew. I know you've asked me for 3 now. And obviously SPF, but I have to.
I was about to say that's probably one of the most important ones as well, is, you know, making sure that you have your SPF. So I suppose that something that we wanted to actually draw on is in terms of derma and our products. For anyone that is looking to kind of up their skincare journey or to really kind of revamp their skin, you can book a complimentary consultation with us either by contacting us on our Instagram, which is just dermoi facials, or alternatively contacting us through our website. And then as well, all Victoria Bid participants do actually have their own discount code, which is Victoria7, and that's 7% off the products throughout the entire website. So if there is any of these products that Kate is mentioning that you want to definitely try and add to your bag, feel free to use the discount code, or you can message us and we can do a consultation to make sure they're perfectly suited for your skin.
Yeah.
In terms then of
good advice as well is like, it's really important to get the right serum for your skin. You know, there's no point starting on a level, like a high level vitamin A, or, you know, because we have about, I think we have 4 vitamin A's. So we've Calm, which is for sensitive skin, Correct is for just general aging and normal skin, and then Renew is for resilient aging skin. So that's important to know, because you know, some people who have just always never had any issues with skin, I would always start off with just like 1 pump, but you have got to use a spray, the boost spray, afterwards to massage it into the skin. And then there's a clarifying for acne skin. So there's a difference. I think people get confused between sensitive acne and acne skin. So there's a couple of different types of acne. Sometimes people need to start off on a sensitive vitamin A serum just to kind of like calm the skin, because most of the time it's inflamed. So if somebody has an inflammation or any type of small bumps, any inflammation at all, without it being too broken, so like, you know, like little marks on the skin, you should use a serum called Rescue. And Rescue is an oxygenated molecule. Again, it's patented, which means that it literally, it's a toxin neutralizer. It gets rid of any toxins in the skin, and it restores the skin back to normality. Same as what oxygen does. It regulates, balances, and so yeah, it mimics oxygen on the skin, but it is anti-inflammatory. So anybody with that rosacea or big breakouts, it's a godsend. It's like our best-selling product, and it's hard to keep on the shelves.
Yeah, I think it definitely depends. It's important to know your skin type, and that your skin type can change. Just because you have dry skin now doesn't mean you're going to have dry skin forever. And
yeah, like, and get a little bit, like, that's why you guys are so important, because you need to change your routine seasonally, like, you know, before coming into winter, before coming into summer. And then the fact that you provide at-home facials as well when you eventually can, is, yeah, it's key. Like, I don't know, many people that want to leave your house and then have to run through the city with the face after having a facial.
I know, I think that is another big point for derma. We do obviously at-home treatments. So you get a facialist comes to the comfort of your home or your office and treats your skin, which is obviously unfortunately just kind of on pause at the minute with the current pandemic. But that doesn't mean that you can't treat your skin at home with the same, you know, kind of really efficient products that really do make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Particularly polish, the exfoliator polish, the one that I was telling you about, that's the same professional as it is retail, actually.
So yeah, you the polish, let's say, is it important to use that as a mask? And if I was going to do a face mask, how many times a week, you know, if I wanted to really pamper myself and pamper my skin, how many times a week should be doing a face mask?
So that mask in particular is our enzyme mask, which is the exfoliator. And so that should be used about twice a week for 20 minutes. It tingles gently, but I would massage it in until, keep massaging it in until it becomes tacky. And that means that you've really kind of like gotten the product immersed in all the dead skin cells, and it kind of activates the enzymatic activity as well. So when it becomes tacky, that's when you should wash it off. Or not even wash it off, but leave it on. But yeah, stop. Let it do its work, is what I'm trying to say. So that you do leave that on for about 20 minutes. But it's an addictive product. It's so nice. It's so brightening. It's just like, and then to follow with your serum afterwards, it's just, yeah, it's really lovely. But obviously we have other masks as well. Remedy is a healing balm that is amazing for eczema, psoriasis, any, as I said, the broken skin. Don't use serums if your skin is broken. Go heal it, heal the barrier first, let it recover, let it go, let it get to a state where it can absorb the serums and actually use it, because inflamed broken skin isn't really that helpful to a therapist, because most therapists want to go in with activity, and active, like it's like fighting fire with fire, so it doesn't always work. And so that's why osmosis is great for building the barrier. We're a barrier building kind of like system as well. So we use tropical mango, which is the barrier recovery mask. Then we also have the healing balms, and those two would be like geared towards anybody with broken skin or rough
skin,
skin, anything like that. Yeah. So yeah, those two. I mean, if I was to do a mask twice a week, you might as well just do two. Do the enzyme mask and then finish off with like a nice tropical mango. But yeah, our products are cruelty free. Somebody just messaged there. Cruelty free, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose then, kind of from my own personal view, I desperately want, really beautiful, glowy skin. So if I went and bought, kind of all the products you're talking about today, how long does it take to really see genuine, long-lasting results?
I guess I've been a skin specialist for a very long time, so I have to manage expectations. Mm-hmm. But luckily enough, with osmosis, it's not that difficult. So I usually say, like, your skin goes through a 30-day cycle most of the time, on average. And then, I would like that to go through that process about 4 times minimal, but most people say 6 months. Give me 6 months, especially before a wedding. You're like, 6 months, a year would be perfect, because there's a lot of, like, most of the time it's lifestyle issues. So when we get to the lifestyle issues, then we're just like kind of like trying to get it over regular. Yeah, it's your new lifestyle. Let go of the past. Yeah, so I guess a lot of my clients, I start off using our immunity defense elixir waters, because it's a full detox. It literally changes your body on a cellular level. It's just water. So you drink 2 bottles of water in 1 hour, and then 12 hours later you drink 2 bottles of water again, and it just like it detoxifies your system. I had to drink about 5 liters of water the day of doing this detox water. It's good for it's a solution for viruses, pathogens, anything like that. So actually we've actually sold a huge amount of it during this lockdown, because it actually stops cold and flus from really occurring. And it's very difficult to say that, but what it does is it's frequencies. So all of our cells have body, or all of our body has cells, and they hold energy, like an ATP energy. It's like a code on the cell. It's imprinted, and so water actually has cells that we can imprint. So that's what we've done. Dr. Ben Johnson has imprinted like a frequency on the water that when you drink it, it actually changes the frequency of your body, which is incredible. And I'm living proof it works, because you could not notice that your body changing when you do this detox water. It's a good place to start for anybody trying to just reset, and I try and set a couple of new intentions, and get your body as I said, a clean slate. So that's one of my favorite waters. And then we also do supplements, like we do mucus cleanses, because mucus is like a big issue as well, especially for people in London and people who are looking for a glowing skin in particular. It's impossible to achieve if your body is toxic. So mucus is a defense mechanism to a toxic environment. So like when I say toxic, most of the time I'm talking about the foods that we eat, obviously the environment that we're in, but how the environment, you really change the environment of your body. You are what you eat. We've heard it a million times. It's just, now we're like living proof of it. So anybody who suffers from sinuses a lot, like always feeling congested, and when I was younger, I obviously was a typical Irish lady having an old drink every weekend, and and so like alcohol in particular, what it would do is It's alcohol. It's so harsh on your esophagus and on your digestive system that your body would actually defend itself and try and protect itself. So a lot of the time, mucus is produced by fried foods, you know, alcohol, sugar, all the, the typical bad stuff. And so your body can be congested. And most of the time when people have colonics, that's what's coming out is mucus, which lovely. I've never seen mucus so many times. So I started working with Osmosis. But yeah, so like getting rid of mucus is a huge place to start. And that's what really gives you glowing skin, because a body that's going to be better absorb your fruit and vegetables is automatically going to radiate.
Yeah, definitely. So I suppose, as you're saying, once again, it comes down to understanding your lifestyle factors and the different things that affect kind of your level of skincare, both inside and out. And as you said, it really starts from within in terms of your skincare journey.
Definitely. And just getting that right, plus a nice level of vitamin A minimum, should be standard.
Definitely.
To see the results that you want in a short amount of time, because like I'm talking, we do 10-day mucus cleanses, the immunity defense elixir. You can get great, to go back to the actual question. You have to pull me down, I'm like a balloon. But yeah, sorry, I'm about I would say 4 to 6 weeks, you can definitely see a difference in your skin.
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, 100%. If you follow what your therapist says, you can see it within a few days.
Oh, wow. Okay. Brilliant. Mm-hmm. So then, in terms of looking at specific skincare concerns, I just want to kind of go through some of the questions that we can see coming through. So Misha's asked, is there any advice for little bumps under the skin? And I suppose this is a very common question, and it happens to a lot of us, specifically those living in the city. Is there any skincare advice?
Can you ask, did you say Amish?
Yeah.
Can you ask Amish where those bumps are on his skin, and I could give him a specific advice. But red bumps in particular, most of the time they are present on your cheek area, that kind of like congested under the skin. I also want to know, are these red bumps like, are they rough, are they raised, are they inflamed? There's a few different, like that really helped me. So yeah, red bumps, as I said, is usually from digestive issues. So I would look at getting a good digestive enzyme. I would even do the immunity defense elixir waters. I would do the immunity defense elixir waters. I would do the mucus cleanse, and then I would finish off with a digestive enzyme 20 minutes before you eat every time. And you'll definitely see an improvement there.
But once again, it's very important to understand, as you said, it's about understanding where these problem areas are appearing to see, because as you said, with the mapping, if there's a problem area on your nose, it's most likely going to be linked to a particular lifestyle choice or kind of factor, and it's really about kind of speaking to an expert, like the team at Dermoi, who are able to pinpoint those problems, and then they can create a session and create a skincare plan for yourself.
Yeah. It is really specific, and that's why going to try different types of products and looking online and trying to say, oh, that this expert or this blogger uses this and this, and her skin is kind of like mine. You don't know what anybody looks like underneath their makeup. So like when you take somebody's advice from on a screen and their face looks amazing, I'll tell you something, I've done a lot of absolutely incredibly beautiful, flawless skin, and then after the makeup comes off, it's a different story, like it's a lot of concealer, it's a lot of baking, all this like terminologies, and so it's specific. Get the advice. That's the best advice I can give you. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose then for anybody who is wanting to book a consultation to understand their osmosis skincare routine and regimen, what you can do is you can send a message on Instagram over to Dermoi Facials, or alternatively you can send an email to the Dermoi team or myself specifically. So it's just katrina@dermoi.com or support@dermoi.com, and we will be able to get a consultation booked in so we can start understanding your skincare journey and the specific products that you need. So I suppose then in terms of some of the other questions that we've had in regards to the products, so are all of the ingredients plant-based? I know you had mentioned osmosis is cruelty-free. Are there vegan products? In terms of more ingredients, what kind of ranges do you have?
Yeah, we've something for everybody really, I guess. Not all products are vegan friendly. We do need to have some activity in the skin. So we're using the cleanest formulas and the least toxic amounts. And it's very, yeah, specific, as I said, to the point of like the amount of vitamin C we even use in our DNA repair. We have an incredible product called Catalyst AC11. It's like, I don't, it's like a laser in a bottle, you could call it, but per se, you shouldn't say that. So what it does is, capillaries that are broken on the surface of the skin, you know how they trail, they have all these little fingers of it.
Yeah.
And what usually happens is that cells stop communicating over time from sun damage and environmental damage. And they're dead strands of DNA that don't communicate any longer. So what this product comes in is that we're using just like a really small amount of vitamin C, amino acids, minerals, and we can actually help cut out or get rid of the dead DNA and let it start communicating again. So you can see a visual improvement in things that you think were there forever, you know, like these high red coloring on your face, or you know that capillary has been broken for a very long time. You'd be surprised what we can do with just a couple of serums and a little bit of people's dedication and consistency, because that's always the problem. Consistent.
That is the problem. And I even know myself, you know, when I have a skincare problem, I want immediate results. And as you said, it can take, you know, a couple of weeks, months to really see the results that you're kind of looking for. And long lasting.
People come in, right? And sorry to put across you, but it's like something I'm passionate about. But you know, anything that gives you a very fast result in such a short amount of time is not the answer. You're usually, you know, how we say in Ireland, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
So you're just temporarily producing collagen to plump it up, and then over time, you know, that there's something else lacking. It's like a yin and yang effect on through everything in life. Light and repetitive and a more sophisticated way of treating the skin using advanced vitamins is the only way. Like.
Yeah, so it's definitely important to kind of understand that, you know, it's kind of a long game, and you know, your skin, you only have one of your skin and you have it for life, so it's important that you treat it well and do it regularly.
Yeah.
And
there's loads of these sucky out the mucus out of your pores and gimmicks. There's gimmicks everywhere, and like, you know, they're using a lot of glycolic, and I don't like that AHA in particular, because it's just too if the molecules are so small, they just over exfoliate the skin, and I just think that you just don't need to go to those extremes. Things that suck out dirt out of your pores, how about like just get rid of the mucus in the body, because that's just a representation of it.
Yeah, so again, it's important to understand the ingredients that are in the products then, and understand that the brand you use is kind of has those cosmeceutical levels and scientifically backed levels of ingredients.
100%, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's obviously relative to what we believe in as a brand, you know, but I just really enjoy having a guideline, a philosophy that works, and I understand it, because most brands have good ingredients, they're clinically trialed or whatever, but like, you know, this carries through your lifestyle, and that's really the I guess what really sits well with me and all of my clients that I treat, because you know, it's like a striving to be better on a day-to-day basis as well.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose then the saying goes, healthy skin is part of a healthy lifestyle. And it's about understanding that lifestyle and making those small, efficient changes, whether that be kind of a supplement, or changing your lifestyle, and it can
drinking enough water.
Yeah, it can literally be that simple. But again, it's about understanding what you want to achieve, and having realistic expectations as to how and when you will see those results.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Like, I think this is going. I think, as far as I'm aware, Zoom calls cut off after normally near an hour. I think that's right. But if there is,
oh my goodness, is there any more questions there, or are you good?
Yeah, if there's any more questions, we'll just give another couple of minutes and let anybody put their questions in, and we'll try and get them all answered now before our call ends.
That was a fast year, by the way.
Time always flies. So here we go. So like, what is the Insta page contact? So if anybody wants to contact us, they can follow either dermoi facials, and we'll also put up Kate's Instagram page as well. Or the website is just dermoishop.com. So it's DERMOI shop.com, and we'll be able to answer any questions or do any skin consultations and organise those through contacting us there. Again, Victoria Bid, we do give 7% off to all of you lovely attendees as well. So it's literally just the code Victoria7, and that works across the website. So if there is anything Kate's been talking about today that you want to go and have a look at, that you potentially want to try, feel free to use the discount code or to contact us, and we'll be able to talk you through the steps, both of how to use the product and when to use it. And so just kind of some of the final questions that we did see coming through then was, what order should I put my products in? So I suppose most people know that, the first step of a skincare routine is to cleanse. But what comes next? Do I put my serums on first? Can I cocktail serums? Do I put SPF on first? What's the best?
I guess it depends on the brand. It definitely depends on the brand. Some brands, most brands, I'd say nearly all brands, don't recommend using vitamin A during the day.
Okay.
And they recommend vitamin C and antioxidants during the morning. But that is that is a little bit dated, because the form of vitamin A that most brands are using are sensitive, sun sensitive. So when you're using it out in the sun, it actually loses efficiency, but also can be like sensitizing to the skin, and then in turn be toxic. So I would suggest using Orform, because it's liposomally delivered and obviously passes through the lipid barrier, so that it's not just sat on the skin. Over time, we're using such a small amount, as you said, it's less than 1%, 0.05% is in some of our serums, and 0.0375, like it's minuscule stuff. So, but high activity, so you'll see the difference that you need. And then, it just is the right amount to get into the skin and then work. So you can cocktail serums, definitely. With our brand, you can use your vitamin C, your vitamin A, morning and evening. Spritz it. The most important thing is spritzing it into the skin. I think for anybody who's not using or using other serums at home, what I would suggest is cleansing your skin sufficiently. Obviously, using maybe an enzyme if your skin is normal, and just a gentle cleanser. I like to use washes. I think it's nice and refreshing. And then also, I like to keep my skin damp before I put my serums on. Because, when your skin is damp, or like there's water on the skin, it'll hold in the skin. Because most skincare brands have technologies to help the product get a little bit deeper into the skin. But nobody's using, like, I don't think there's many people using liposomal, which is, again, patented, which is cool. So I guess, cocktail them, and spray it into the skin. Even if you're not using our products, use our Infuse and Boost, because it gets the product into the skin, keeps the skin plump, and it has that technology that just like, it's antibacterial, antifungal, and it's a really, they're brilliant spritzes. And then the other side of it is, I don't like the use of toners. So I would just get that out.
Yeah. So the essential products really are your cleanser, your serums, and then your mist and your SPF. Really, that's all you need to set in an
Yeah.
essentials.
Facial oils are incredible. Like crystal gua sha, like rose quartz gua sha, like along my chest, and then along my collarbone. Like every evening, I keep my gua sha beside my bed, and then I use, like, we have a Nourish facial oil, anti-inflammatory immerse oils and things like that. That's just for pure radiancy, and then it just like it's such a like an act or a ritual of self-love as well, to kind of finish your routine off before you go to sleep. Like, your hair can be up in your hun bun, and it's just clean your gua sha, keep it right beside your bed, and then it's just a nice way of like calling it a night and falling asleep.
I think that's it. It's skincare can be obviously be essential, and there's the other side of it that is just really for indulgence. And it's not that your skin necessarily needs to be really glowy and beautiful. It's all of us want really beautiful glowing skin, and it is those oils at the end of the day. And not only do they feel good, they look really good the next day. Your skin looks really glowy and perfect if you have an event coming up or anything special, to really treat the skin and hydrate it.
Love it. Yeah, I think we should all do it. Just empower our inner goddess.
The oils are, to be fair, the oils are probably one of my favorite products. They really do, kind of, your skin just feels amazing. And I think something that's important again to say is, with skincare, it's not just about working on the face. It is important to work down your neck.
Your chest, like, or like your décolletage, your breasts, like you just, everywhere.
Yeah. It doesn't just end at your chin. And I think that's specifically very important when it comes to anti-aging products as well, to really work them into your neck area, as well, because you will see the difference in the results in that.
And even if you don't want to just commit to doing it every evening, just do it like once a week, and like a mask, and just make sure you're including that area, because most of the time we are in a rush. We've got a million things to do. I don't like screaming kids and deadlines. But just make time, that little, definitely the most important thing is like cleansing. Like, use both hands. Sometimes it's almost this like one hand thing, and you're but when you have a great therapist, she will give you the tools to recognize it, so that you don't always have to become reliant on your therapist.
Yeah.
It's about like being self-sufficient in your own life, to say, oh, that's because of this, because I learned it from my amazing therapist back in the day, and then I will go back and see her and she can help me whenever I want. But like, hormonal imbalances are usually stress related, environmental factors, or food induced, because food in particular, they're bad food rises your estrogen. It's estrogen like, and then your testosterone rises, and then you get an imbalance in your endocrine system, and then your oil flow goes higher, or lots of different things. Your digestion, when you're stressed, your digestion, your stomach goes into bits. And when you're stressed, you're like, oh, why am I sitting like this? I didn't realize. So your awareness of your body is also really important. But aside from that, it's hormones are something that you need to know your triggers. If certain foods trigger hormone imbalances, whether it's your period, and we also have supplements that balance hormones, one called Skin Defense, and it's incredible for hormone balancing always. Like I have them on my shelf. It's got ingredients called DIM. It's got 90 milligrams per capsule. So what it does is it binds estrogen and removes it from your body. And it also has charcoal, so it helps to detoxify as well. Just drink lots of water. Try and keep your stress levels low, and if you have a hormone surge, I wouldn't become reliant on the pill to try and like suppress your hormones. I think there's lots of alternatives out there that you don't need to go to that extreme. And if it is for contraception, again, there's loads of other localized contraceptive options rather than having that go through your entire system. So that's a whole other story.
I think that it's important, as you said, if you trust your therapist and your therapist really knows your skin, they will be able to kind of give you the advice and the tools you need to manage, whether it be a hormonal breakout or whether it be, you know, you've suddenly got kind of red patches or dryness in winter, that you have the basic knowledge to manage kind of anything that your skin throws at you.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you should know your triggers anyway, I think over time. But again, it's just like, sometimes you need somebody to repeat it back to you to learn. You know, you're like, oh, I know that happens. But I still do.
I think that's something that we all are very used to, and I definitely can say years ago I was very guilty of it, was the face wipe, and not using a cleanser. And now I tell everyone, I'm like, no, you know, you need to cleanse and double cleanse specifically, especially when people wearing makeup or heavy makeup or the likes of in the city. But you know it, but you just have to try it and see the benefits.
Yeah. Again, I think like what I have on today now is the Osmosis CC cream, and then the age defying concealer, which I only apply under my eyes, on my nose, and my chin. So like it's like making you have a very natural appearance. It's antioxidant power in it. I also, like, you know, we use powders again that have no toxic ingredients in it. So it makes all the difference to finish with a good, and like plumping, like there's goji berries and antioxidants in with the makeup to defend your skin even further. It's just so important. And then like when you cleanse off makeup, like I actually don't even use like I always double cleanse, but I don't always use a balm to remove my makeup. Like our cleansers have enough pH that lift it off. But again, if you are using, you know, makeup and you want glowing skin, you need to glowing skin comes from skin, not from makeup. There's loads of makeup brands out there now promoting glowing skin, but it's really just got like minerals that make you look like you've glowing skin, which is just like,
when you take it off and you want your skin to glow underneath, really is what you want.
Yeah. I think it's funny because it's just like you could save all of that and just really be comfortable in your own skin. And yeah, I guess when it comes down to glowing skin, drink the water, treat your skin really nicely, do that kind of, treat yourself well, and yeah, I guess finish off with good makeup. But we do have a lift away cleansing balm for people who continue to use whatever makeup they want, and that's really important. If you are using a long lasting kind of like toxic chemical makeup, remove it with a balm, with an oil, pre-cleansing oil, and then cleanse your skin, because otherwise you're just cleansing your makeup off.
Yeah. So I suppose that one of the big questions that we've got through now, and that's becoming really popular at the moment, is these cleansing brushes and exfoliating brushes and these tools. What are your thoughts on using Osmosis products with these kinds of electric brushes and tools as well?
Yeah, I guess if the brushes, I mean, there's one that my friend in particular loves, these little pods that you put it on your finger, and they're just like rubberized little silicone brushes, and like I've felt them. I haven't used them, but I mean they seem great. I mean, it's like a little mini massage for your pores. It really helps to like get rid of all the oils and toxins and stuff like that. But the big brushes are just unnecessary. Like they're expensive. They're really they're unnecessary in my opinion. Save it's like a couple of euro to get a silicone pad and just rub it around your face. That would be much more cost effective, and also you get to remove the heads more often, so you can kind of spend more money on them, so it's good for like hygiene wise. And I really do not like those home kit rollers. I think they're just filled with skin cells and dirt, and it's not healthy. And I also just don't like the idea of putting it on your skin, but you know, different therapies, different strokes.
Yeah, and as long as you invest in the right products, you know, the tool that you use to use it, you don't need to invest in a more expensive tool. As you said, it's really important you use both hands, and you will still see great results as long as you're using really great products.
Yeah.
That's where most people would rather invest, is really where they will see results.
Yes, and we have energy in our hands that, you know, you can't actually fail your own hands. Like, they're powerful.
Exactly. So, in terms of any last minute questions, I think there's a couple more here. Just one in particular. I know obviously we had talked about the skin oils. What is the big difference between the oil and the serum?
The skin oils and the serums. The serums, like most of our serums, are liposomally delivered, which means that they're not just sitting on the skin, they're working cellularly. So we want to get to the source of where the cells are to make some physical changes. While oils are on the surface, creating radiance in the drier skin cells. So like on the surface, you're creating radiance, you're bringing down inflammation, and in turn healing any broken skin. So, you know, it's reparative, it's anti-inflammatory, it's boosting like radiance in the skin more instantaneously, but in turn healing. So, you know, that's what oils do. Serums are creating long-term skin health.
And if you combine the two together, that's probably the best option then.
Just leveling goddess level them.
Perfect. So if there's any more questions, feel free to send them through. I'm just having a look here. Do you have a list of some of the questions that we had got in advance? Look, so yeah, just probably the one that comes up every time that we kind of have a chat or do kind of these sessions is about the difference between understanding your morning skincare routine and your nighttime skincare routine. And I know a lot of people, as you said, they expect that you can't use your retinol kind of during the day because it's particularly hard on skin, and people don't know the difference between the different forms of retinol and retinol. What would you say, if anyone want, like kind of the basic coverage of what you should know the difference between your morning and your evening skincare routine?
Well, if you have a good morning and evening routine for a number of, like a year or more, sometimes I don't have a morning routine at all. So I wake up, I wash my face, and I put some, maybe like if I find an SPF on, I'll just use that for the day because there's enough nutrition in my skin to just, you know, let my skin breathe throughout the day, give it a break. It's about reading your skin and looking at it and knowing what you need and what your skin wants. But antioxidants as a standard have to go into your routine in the morning. And so I think that's the one key element, especially for talking to people in Victoria, in London. That's number one. And because it's reparative, it's healing. So what I always say is, like, vitamin A, C's are like so to think about your cell, your A and C's are coming down to repair the cell and to like make it perform better. And then what antioxidants do is it protects the cell from further damage. So that's key, because otherwise you're just repairing. And it's just like, yeah, it's like, you know, I don't know, leaving the window open. I don't know. I don't know what the analogy is going to be right now, but you get me. It's just, you're never going to win the battle. So if you protect and repair, that's the best form of defense. And yeah, I guess morning and evening routines, obviously more oils in the evening time. In the morning, keep it light, because, you know, you don't want anything too heavy on your skin. So that's why I only ever use like one serum in the morning, and then I use like 2 or 3 in the evening.
Yeah, I think for me, truly, I much like prefer cocktailing serums and oils in the evening, and it's much more of like a ritual, a skincare ritual, rather than a
Yeah.
skincare rush.
Yes. Yeah. Dead right. And yeah, I think it's a like, unless you have time to massage your skin in the morning and use your 2 or 3 serums, and then like, I mean, how I layer my, like, let's say this morning now I just used, I cleansed my skin with cleanser, and then I put on Renew, which is just my vitamin A. I sprayed it into the skin, I massaged that, and then I used Quench moisturizer, and I massaged that into the skin, and then all I did was put on my CC cream and yeah, the CC cream, and then patched it up with the concealer, and then I use a translucent powder. So I actually do baking, which is funny because I've learned it only recently. I think I'm down with kids. So baking is obviously using concealer with or translucent powder, because it makes it last longer. Like it just, you are you into makeup, Katrina?
It's slightly, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm into makeup, but I would never have like, I don't know, like what's the word, like contoured. I don't
Yeah.
contour. Yeah, like, layering on, and I like to look like myself. I like to look as natural as possible. So like, there's no shock when somebody knocks at the door and I have nothing on. So like, and I have freckles, and there's like, I want to be able to see my tone under the skin. So it's a really tricky one when you have freckles on your skin, because concealing it too much makes you look like you're hiding it, because it's it's on your body, but you want your skin to breathe as well, and it's just like, it's a difficult one. So putting a CC cream on lets your skin tone come through, and so it's just a color correction. It just makes it look more even. And we have like one that has a lot of like moisturizing agents in it, and then with the anti-aging concealer, you're just spotting under like where the tone you might need a little bit more highlighting, but you need to even out the tone. So like where you might have some under eye dark patches, and then also, as I said, like I haven't had Botox yet because I'm 33 this year, and I'm obviously, it doesn't suit with my philosophy, but all my friends have it and I'm really jealous of it. So I'm gouacheing more than ever, making holes in my face from gouache. But I don't need it yet. So like, talk to me in a while. I'm always going to be transparent with what I decide to do. But the yeah, on your nose to like make it a little bit slimmer, and then just like bronzer, I just use a bronzer under my cheekbone and then on my forehead. But like that means that like when you look at me, I look like I'm wearing very little makeup, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of makeup on. And this cream just kind of gives you that kind of like moisturizing tone, or moisturizing tinted tone on the skin. And then everything else, it just sits into place then. And then, we have like brow brushes and, pens and mascara. Oh, you name it. We've everything. Like we've lip liner. But it's as I said, it's really clean, but it lasts all day. And that's what's I love about it the most. Is like, I've used mineral makeup brands in the past. I've actually worked for them, and you'd have to go and top it up. While I think it's the baking that's really making a difference these days. I watched all these YouTube channels. I'm like, oh, I couldn't be bothered baking my skin, but like all it is concealer with the translucent powder blotted on top to really kind of hold it in place, and it does.
Yeah.
I
think one of the products that you mentioned there that I definitely personally think is one of my hero products from Osmosis is the Quench, which is a moisturizer, and you do feel like your skin just has this sudden layer of moisture and protection as well. It really kind of feels slightly balm-like, in that you feel like you can go out and into the wind or the rain and your skin just feels defended.
Totally right. And I'll tell you why, right? Because there's two moisturizers. There's a Quench and there's Hydrate. So Quench only has about like 2 to 3% hyaluronic acid, while Hydrate has 50% hyaluronic acid. Now what Quench has is shea butter. And that shea butter is our tropical mango. It's in tropical mango, but that is like your balm. It's a balm pretty much to defend environmental damage, but it keeps your skin hydrated. So yeah, I love it. But anyway, there's a moisturizer as well. There's a Enrich, which is a night cream, and that has naturally occurring vitamin A's and C's. If you don't want to use like a serum with A in it, get a good night cream, and that would just be sufficient enough. It's made from fruits and stuff like that. But anyway,
And the thing is, there's that many products to talk about. But like, I think that's probably, we'll probably close up for the day. But if anybody has any questions about Osmosis, would like a skincare consultation or to know more about a specific product, do feel free to message us. So the Instagram handle again is at dermoi facials, DERMOI, or you can message us at support@dermoi.com, and we will be able to get in touch and go through all the products and to really give you a personalised idea of your skincare routine. And as we've learned today, it's very important that your skincare is personal, because what might work for one person won't work for the other. But yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you so much, Kate. I feel like every time I speak to you, I learn so much more.
I know, sorry, you have to pull me back down, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you. And I love Derma, and I can't wait to visit you guys.
I know, we look forward to seeing you again soon. We'll have to maybe take a trip down south very shortly. Catch up. Well, look, that's brilliant. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to get in touch. I think that's it for today.